Okay, to begin setting up the URL shortener, the first thing you need to do is set up your database. Now you'll notice here that I'm using cPanel. If you're not using cPanel or if you don't know how to use cPanel, you may wish to contact your hosting provider. For those who do, all you need to do is scroll down, find the area that says MySQL Databases, click on this. Now you'll notice that I've used this for a lot of testing, but we're going to create a sample database that I'm going to call MinURL. Then we're going to go back. Next we want to create a user. In this case, we are going to call this user John Doe. And John Doe's password is going to be p@ssw0rd. p@ssw0rd. It has to have a certain number of characters, I believe 6 or 8. And then we create the username. There we go. And again, you can see John Doe and password with the @ and the 0. Next, we go back and we need to add John Doe to the actual database. So what we need to do is come to the very bottom, and you'll notice that they are pre-selected at the moment because they are the most recently set up. So let's simply just click Add. If they're not, of course, you're going to want to make sure that they are the two that are pre-selected. And once you're on the next page, click All Privileges. Click here to make changes, and then go back. Now, really quickly here, what we want to do before we move on to the next step is just confirm that the user, John Doe, is synced with the database MinURL, or whatever you choose to use. That's completely up to you. Like I said, this is just a demo. Our next step is to actually set up the SQL tables. To do this, again, I'm using cPanel, but we're going to use phpMyAdmin. We're going to select our database, which is MinURL. We're going to select the import function, choose file, links SQL. Make sure that your file, no matter what you name things, ends in SQL. And simply scroll down and click Go. Once that's done, we can close this window down. And the last thing we need to do before uploading our files is to do some light editing of the index file. So we're going to right click and open this. I'm using Note Tab Lite. You can look it up on Google, just type in Note Tab Lite download. As you can tell, I've tested this once before, so we're just going to change these out. We have to make sure that John Doe is in there. In almost all cases, you're going to notice that your host is localhost. We're going to change the password out for the one that we've just created. And the database is MinURL. And once you've done this, you're going to want to save this as index.php. You're going to overwrite that file. And at this point, I'm going to pause the video really quickly while I open up the FTP program so that we can upload the files and test things. Okay guys, while we were gone, I noticed that I hadn't actually changed this piece over right here. It initially said 007 because I was messing around earlier. However, when I set things up, I did set it up to go do /MinURL. So we're going to save that as index. Click Save. And you'll notice that because we're using the Note Tab Lite, it's going to create a backup file each time we do this. So let's refresh this. We're going to delete the backup file. You don't absolutely have to. I just choose not to keep them cluttering up space. You'll also notice that we're using FileZilla. So we're going to log into our hosting space. Now you can right click down here at the bottom to create a directory. I've created one called MinURL already. And the only two files you actually have to upload are the .htaccess and the index.php files. Once you've done this, you can come over here to your browser, open up a new tab and type in whatever your domain name is, /MinURL, or whatever you'd like to set this up as. And if you're feeling really enthusiastic, you can even type in index.php. Next, you need a link to shorten. And to do this, I'm going to go over to images.google. We're going to look up Alaskan Malamute puppies, because everyone thinks puppies are adorable. We're going to copy this huge link here. We're going to put it into the thing and then simply click shorten. Now that we have the shortened link here, we're going to copy this tiny little link, open up yet another browser window, and voila. That's all it took. Really fast, really easy, and really simple. I know you're going to love it. If you have any questions, send us an email. Have a great day.